All right, we're back on the air. I think, thanks for your patience. I think the bandwidth is getting throttled a little bit. A lot of people at the airport. And thanks for your patience on that. Back in action. Still got a good hour and a half, and I may extend it. I bought a outlet, and my truck has the ability to. My truck has the ability to have a power outlet, so I may kill my truck today just to get some extra streaming. Anyways, that would be cool. But regardless, is 737 700 Southwest inbound from Burbank, California. And I'm sorry this happened, but we're working on it. I am one guy who does this for free so far, so my resources are limited. And that's okay because I love doing it. But if you would like to make a donation, I would love that. Just go to PayPal, search Pip Hastings. Even though it's raining, you still got really good visibility today in the valley. Back in action. Hey, hi. So we hit the bottom of the hour here in Phoenix, 4:30. Looks like the old trusty CRJ 900. Coming in from El Paso, Texas. ELP. Thanks for the like and getting back on. We were on a good stream, and then, of course, technology gives me the finger. But we're back. Ain't nothing stopping me, man. I'm here to please. American E175 from Little Rock in the great state of Arkansas. If you know somebody who loves plane spotting, you gotta come join me. It's gonna be a lot of fun over the next few months. In the meantime, updated forecast from the National Weather Service, Aviation Weather Center, is calling for southwest winds, 17 gusting to 25 knots. We had some sprinkles earlier. That's why you see a little bit of the condensation on the runway. However, otherwise, the wind has, for the most part, has been fairly light. As Gear and I were talking at first, when we first got on the air, Las Vegas has had some super high winds, gusting in excess of 40 knots today. So it's been challenging in Las Vegas. Thanks for tuning in, joining me for the evening, or maybe if you are across the ocean, the early morning or good morning. We had people from Colombia, Amsterdam saying hi earlier, which is awesome because I want to go to Amsterdam so bad. And then Colombia for sure. Right now, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, in the southwestern United States. Looking at American's Phoenix operation here on this north side of the airport. I think in the future, what I'd like to see is instead of these short concourses, I'd like to see like the continuous concourse with what like the McNamara terminal in Detroit has, where they have um, a train inside the terminal because it's so long. Denver is, Denver's so big. I don't know where to spot, and so I've done. There's the website. I think it's planespotters.net or something like that. So that's on the list because it's obviously one of the closer cities. So just so you know, there's about a 20 to 30-second lag between audio and video. So if you're just watching in, just be patient. We'll keep things active here. But regardless, this is pretty awesome. I always wanted to be on TV, but I never got the chance. I was always a radio journalist. So this is as close as I come. So, yeah. Firing up the engines on the old A319. Again, one of my favorite aircraft. Everything smells like diesel fuel, in case you're wondering, or like jet A fuel, I guess is the better way to put it. But it's very pungent being this close. In fact, I can't think of many other places where you're this close to the concourses and spotting. I'm really going to have to think about this now. Where have I been? San Jose's pretty close to the terminal where you can spot from the parking garage, but it's across the street. JFK, depending where you're at, like if you're at the TWA hotel, you tend to be pretty close to the action and you get that smell. Inbound to us in the next 5 minutes, Southwest 1075 from Denver on a 737 MAX 8. And then we've got Southwest 180 from Cancun on a 737-700. Inbound to Phoenix. Take things nice and slow here so you guys don't get sick. And if you're enjoying the coverage and the broadcasting, maybe you throw a like in there or even subscribe. Had some new subscribers today, which I'm thrilled. And that's going to be the best way that you will know where I'm going to be broadcasting from and when. I will typically do a video the night before and then a couple of hours beforehand of where I'm going to be broadcasting from. Being in Phoenix today, I wanted to try and keep it a secret, but overall, I usually do a video just to update people. Nice to see the 737 MAX 8 make an appearance. And now I'm starting to get a little bit of wind. Now I'm starting to, you'll start to feel it in the microphone. I think the biggest thing right now is with the higher resolution, just not going too fast. So I'll just go slow and hopefully that'll help it. So I was thinking about Chicago O'Hare at some point, and they have a really neat program out there. The local police department is you register with them, which I think is cool. I don't have a problem with that. And register with them, and then you get up near the fence and can do photos and everything. And then the police aren't always chasing you and whatnot. It's called the ORD Airport Watch. It's $20 for like 2 years. And I just realized that I need to renew. So I'm going to renew so I can get out there soon. Thanks so much if you're just tuning in, or if you're back for more action from this afternoon. There's our first Volaris appearance. Volaris, the up-and-coming airline from Mexico. All right, so we're starting to get some wind, and you may hear it in my microphone. So this is what we kind of expected. Checking the weather. Should get an updated METAR in the next 10 minutes, but it's really starting to blow here. Um, so I'll try and face backwards so the wind's hitting my head instead of the microphone, so you guys can hear me okay. But we knew it was coming at some point. It just was delayed. I see some new likes. Thank you so much. If you like the video and what you're seeing, feel free to pop on a like and join the party and join the conversation. I will do my best to answer any questions, but to have good conversation and everything that comes with it. There may be a point, just as a heads up, where I might turn my mic off because I don't want to have that noise constantly in the stream. So just a heads up. Not to the point yet, but close. Inbound into the next 15 minutes. Expecting Alaska 700 inbound. And then also American 1756 on a 737 800. 1756 from Minneapolis. And FedEx on a 767. FedEx 979 from Memphis. .448, where we stand in the afternoon here in Phoenix, Arizona at Sky Harbor International Airport. Live from Phoenix is where we stand. Thanks for the like. Haven't decided the next location, and I haven't decided if it's going to be tomorrow or Thursday. Light winds, 280 at 7 knots. I can start to see the sky break up here. And that, to me, tells me that you've got wind. And I know that's weird saying that, but sometimes you clear out a storm, usually with winds, and so they're coming. So thanks for the update. Appreciate the report, Iskir. Here is the new 737 MAX 9 for Alaska inbound from Seattle. You know, I keep wanting the Aviation Weather Center to create a new app. Now, they've built a new website that's in beta testing right now, but they have not done an application. So I will download that Aero Weather app and check it out. But I really want Aviation Weather Center to build a mobile app. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the participation and joining the party. Feel free to say hi. Love making new friends and teaching me new things. It's American 1756 from Minneapolis on a 737 800. Good to know. I will add that to the phone. Billy Bull, what's happening? I am back in action. Thank you very much, sir. I love it. Glad you could join us. Yeah, I'm on location in Phoenix. Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, hubs for both Southwest and American. So instead of the usual Salt Lake City Delta hub, we're mixing it up, which is pretty nice, which I like. I'm going to see if I can get in touch with one of my old dispatching buddies and see if he can join us on the broadcast too. You get it, man. Thanks. Thank you, Billy. Glad you could join us. I might stick around a little bit longer since British Airways decided to be delayed. Now, I don't know if my camera will be too good at the dusk, but we might try. FedEx 959 from Memphis inbound, landing on 25 right. Say hi to the Phoenix skyline in the background. If you've never been to Phoenix before, one of the nice things is that downtown isn't too far away, about 10 minutes away. And Felix, sorry, I just saw your question. Right now, temperature is, let's see, 50 degrees, 52 degrees. I don't think it reached 60 today, and I know that was the forecast, but it has not reached that. A very, very cool day. When I was driving down here, went through Flagstaff, which is getting pummeled by snow. Flagstaff is about 2.5 hours away, and they are expecting over a foot of snow, and I was delayed 30 minutes because I was driving so slow. So I don't think anybody's complaining too much about 55 degrees in Phoenix when Flagstaff is getting over a foot of snow. So inbound in the next 15 minutes, American 765 from Philadelphia, another AA hub. Tools, what's up, man? It was not actually with SkyWest. In fact, Salt Lake is where I live right now because I'm going to school for the MBA. But no, I was actually based in Texas and originally from the Chicago area. So good question though. Also inbound, American 2829 and 737 Max 8. Yeah, so I would love to go. So I grew up in Chicago, and I would love to go work for United, obviously because United's based in Chicago. They don't. They used to be in the Willis Tower. I Last time I talked with somebody who was at United, I wasn't sure if they were moving their operations center out to near O'Hare or if they were keeping the operations center at the Sears Tower. So, with that said, I'd love to go, anywhere. American, Alaska's great. Um, Southwest, of course. So, yeah. Hawaiian, I mean, if you can deal with the cost of living and being isolated, I mean, Hawaii's great. And Hawaiians, that's one of the things most people don't realize is Hawaiian has a lot of flights to the other side of the Pacific. So it's usually one of the best ways to get to like Tokyo or Sydney or even Seoul. So because Hawaiian and Hawaii is kind of right there, right in the middle. So they do a lot of the Trans-Pacific routes from Honolulu. If you are just tuning in, we did get a little bit of precipitation, and you can see in the background there are some scattered showers across the valley, so it's kind of hit and miss on the rainstorms. Okay, so tools you asked about, flight privileges. I do not. Nope, I do not anymore. So that kind of stinks. And so ideally, I would have flown here, but instead I drove here from Salt Lake. So that I most definitely miss. And when the time is right, I desperately want to get them back when school is done or when a better offer may come along. Um, so no, I'm just I don't want to say a normal citizen, but a non-aviation employee. So Kalita is interesting because they fly a lot of the 747s. Uh, Michigan would be, yeah, a lot closer to Chicago. But, and I know they unionized in the last year and a half because they joined when I was at Envoy, they joined our TWU union. The other one that, if you want to go international is and do cargo besides FedEx and UPS is Atlas. Atlas does both charters. They do a lot of military charters because they've got their 747s and they also do cargo. So Atlas does everything and they do a lot of military bases. And I don't want to say uh, top secret missions, but they do a lot of missions for military work and whatnot. And they, I've been told some things by the captains there. So that's a good option, and they're in Cincinnati. So yeah, 60,000 isn't bad. I mean, and especially if you can get in with zero experience, that's a little that's ahead of Frontier and Spirit and Breeze and Allegiant. So yep, they sure did. They did take the last 747. In fact, if you look on my channel, and I'll see if I can grab the link, I was able to watch them do a test flight out in Moses Lake, Washington, when they flew it the week before they delivered it. I think it was their last test flight in Moses Lake, Washington. So I'll see if I can find that video, but it's on my channel. Now, there's something that a little secret. Most people have no idea what Moses Lake, Washington, but Moses Lake is an old military installation. It's got a 13,000-foot runway. So what Boeing does with a lot of their planes that they do their test runs on and flying before they deliver them to the customers. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for the compliment on the video. Is Moses Lake is actually where they do a lot of their test flights. So sometimes they will fly out to Moses Lake, which is about 2.5, let's see, 3 hours drive from Seattle. And they'll fly it out there. They'll do a lot of testing with it, but then they'll make like touch and goes. And sometimes they'll keep the planes there. And I know they keep a lot of the old 737 Maxes that are either no longer being delivered or still on hold. So I'm going to put up some footage soon about Moses Lake, but it's really fascinating to see and just drive around because there's like 40, 50 737 Maxes just lined up, just parked out in Moses Lake, Washington, this town of like 25,000 people. And they do some of the prototypes. They do the testing for the 777. They'll land out there. They'll do the testing for the Maxes and the Dreamliner. So it's really a cool place. Most people don't know about it. They know about Payne Field and Everett, which is, of course, they should, and Renton and Boeing Field just south of Seattle. But most people don't even think about Moses Lake, Washington, or pay attention or take notice. But it's cool if you catch them on the right day. Like when I was there, I was able to catch the 747, and I was able to catch several Maxes, doing test runs and flying. So pretty cool. Thanks for tuning in. This is Pip broadcasting live just past the top of the hour, 5 o'clock, here at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. And if you are just tuning in, make sure you give the old thumbs up, like for this video if you're enjoying what you're seeing and what I'm talking about. And also make sure that you subscribe or know somebody who is into plane spotting and they subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of people who like plane spotting. But tools, yeah, Moses Lake is pretty cool, man. Yeah, so in Colorado Springs, yeah, of course. And I think there's good reason for that being where the Air Force Academy is, but also Peterson Air Force Base is it correct me if I'm wrong, but Peterson Air Force Base is right there at the Colorado Springs Airport. So it's kind of a dual function. And then you've got the academy at Colorado Springs as well. So another place you'll see the Dream Lifter a lot of times in the U.S. is not only at Payne Field in Seattle, but you'll also see it in Charleston, South Carolina, because they move a lot of the parts. Sorry about that. They move a lot of the parts for the Dreamliner to the Dreamliner factory in Charleston. So there are two Dreamliner factories. There's one in Everett, Washington, in Seattle, and then there's also the Dreamliner factory in Charleston, South Carolina. So you'll see the Dreamlifter there in Charleston a lot. You'll see a lot of the Dreamliners go through testing, which is really cool. One time I got kicked off Boeing property because I was I was taking pictures and I couldn't help myself. And I was riding around in my bicycle, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "Okay, well, you need to leave. You're trespassing." So, but anyways, that's a cool place. And then Wichita, Kansas. I was talking with RW on Sunday, and if you're tuning in and just watching for the first time, Wichita, Kansas used to build the Boeing 737, which is pretty cool. But they still have factories. Cessna and Beechcraft are headquartered in Wichita. Bombardier has a presence there, and then also Spirit Aerosystems there. Yes, that is correct. And I know there's a little bit of delay on the video, but yes, Gear, that is correct. Atlas Air does operate the Dreamlifter. They sure do. And they have two of them, if I remember correctly. One of the captains I used to work for Atlas, and so got a chance to talk to him. I don't I don't know if he ever got to fly the Dreamlifter, but yeah, I think they have two of them. American Eagle Embraer 175. Ooh. I'll have to zoom out so we don't blur you out. Apologize for that blur. Really? Huh. Oh, yes. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, Tools, you're exactly correct. Yeah. No, I subscribe to him and keep watch on him. And it's fun to catch him where he's headed. I think he's on reserve, so he'll do a lot of videos about getting called out, or he's like lower in seniority, so he's always doing these weird assignments. But anyways, yeah, the first time I caught him was when he was doing a video on Microsoft Flight Simulator and seeing if he could actually land the plane, which is funny. Seven 800 on American, inbound from Chicago. My camera has, so I have a telephoto lens on my camera right now, in case you're wondering. And so if there's not a lot of light, it loses focus. So that's when you zoom in, you're reducing the natural light that comes in. So for right now, I'm not going to zoom in too much until I get a new camera. But just so you know and are aware, and like, why isn't this guy zooming in? But I'm looking to see if, not seeing any drizzle or any precipitation, I do see a couple fleeting showers just north of where we are. So yeah, about, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes north on the radar as well. The wind's still relatively calm, and I don't know if you feel the same, but it drives me nuts because Aviation Weather Center, I think, is always conservative when they start their forecast, and then they like will shrink it every time they anticipate a high wind day. And obviously, things can change. That's why it's a forecast; it's not an exact science. So, but thankfully, I listen. I'm not going to complain. The winds haven't been as bad, and I'm okay with that. Makes the broadcast easier for us, each one of us. You guys watching back at home. As I said earlier, I haven't decided if I will do another. I know I will be at another airport in the next day or two. It will not be Salt Lake. So I'm on location, obviously, here in Phoenix, and then we'll kind of switch things up. But I haven't decided if I'm going to do it tomorrow afternoon or the following day. So if you're just tuning in and new to the channel, subscribe and like that video. Subscribing to the channel will be the best way that will know where I'm going to be next and what time. And I keep you up to date on that. I think so far, as a rule, uh, the the stream does really well. And overall, I think mid afternoon is probably a good time. Kind of your lunch break. You're kind of trying to get through the grind of work, or you're just sitting down for the evening if you're in Europe. So it makes a lot of sense. Then in about 7:37 is going to make an appearance here on our B concourse. Trying to figure out which gate, see if I see any wing walkers. All right, he's being marshaled in to look what looks like Bravo 15. Meanwhile, if we pan up, we've got an arrival as the sun starts to set. Delta 737 800 from Salt Lake City. Meanwhile, I'm interested to see this 777. Yeah, I know they were kind of late. The wing walkers kind of late, and then they just showed up at the last second. Surprise! Be on the air for at least another 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer before I call it a night. I'm probably going to head to bed early. I had 3 hours of sleep, plus I've been driving the past 2 days. Started out on yesterday driving from Salt Lake to Page, Arizona, and then this morning driving through the snow from Page down here to Phoenix. Let's take a look and see where that. Yeah, thanks, Tools. I appreciate it. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. I love it, and definitely recommend it if you can get down here, because if you fly down here, you can just go up to the parking garage. You don't have to rent a car or anything like that. I mean, I'm a super cheapskate, so you don't have to do anything except land here, hang around in the airport, and then just bring a lunch and something and just watch. And you can watch both sides of the airport. I know I'm on the north side, but you can also watch the south side as well. That 777 that we see here in the broadcast, that is headed to London on 194, flight 194, American 194. WestJet inbound on a 737-800 from Calgary. I think it's interesting because it looks like it rained on the west half of the runway, but not as much here, because when that spray comes back, it was pretty prominent on that WestJet. But if you notice, you're starting to see the sunshine for the first time today here in Phoenix. Just tuning in, make sure you like and subscribe. If you enjoy the coverage, what we're doing, we'll be here till 6 p.m. tonight. I know it goes without saying, but your likes are truly appreciated because, as you guys know about YouTube, it helps grow the channel and more people are aware of it. And I think this is a pretty cool channel. So, yeah. But we are live at PHX. It's American A321 inbound from JFK. I really hope that 777 takes off on this side. Man, that A321 is going down a long ways. Like a really long way. Holy cow. Oops. I don't know if you meant to do that. But Well, thanks, man. Tools, thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate it and your support, dude. We'll get there. If I keep doing stuff like this on location and on remote, and it's fun because it's someplace new and not just the same thing every day, I think people will take notice. Look at this beauty. Look at that. That's just beautiful right there. That's a great photo. I love when elements of the weather combine with aviation. So those good folks, 194, flight 194, are on their way to London on the 777. She is a beauty. Southwest 737-700 making its way from Oakland. It's a nice contrast because the sun's starting to come out on the west side here towards downtown. And if you look towards the north and east, planes are still coming through that rain. And so looking at the radar, and again, we talked about the wind earlier, but honestly, it really hasn't been a factor. I think it's gone up to about 10 knots when I've been here. All right, I'll see if I can make the adjustments power wise to the computer and start up the truck. I will. I aim to please. So we'll see if we can get that MD-11 for you, Eskier. Oh, two of them. Ah. All right. Here's a trivia question for you. You just saw CRJ 900 land. Who owns the CRJ line? Not who made it, but who owns it now. And if you're just tuning in and you like good plane spotting action, just like this in some of my videos, I would love a like from you. It would mean a lot. Negatory, Ghost Rider. It is not Embraer. The CRJ is actually a Canadian plane. Embraer does the 170s, the 175s, the 190s, the 195s, the 195 E2s. However, it was so de Havilland, I believe. Don't quote me on this part, but was part of Bombardier, or they originally started that, and then Bombardier bought de Havilland. But the company that owns CRJs now is, drumroll please, if you look, it's true, and Google it, Mitsubishi, the conglomerate, the Japanese conglomerate, Mitsubishi. Bombardier sold all of the commercial aviation product outright and got rid of it. So now all that Bombardier does is the private jets, the corporate aviation, train manufacturing. So they do like the Challenger, the Global Express, the those lines, and they just stick to that. They don't do Bombardier, which had the CRJs, uh, sold it to Mitsubishi. So Mitsubishi now is the one. So figure that one out. I don't know why. Yeah, Google it, and you can always correct me because I will admit when I'm wrong. But it was the most interesting thing. It happened a couple years ago, and I don't know if that was because the Canadian government's like, because the Canadian government had given them lots of loans due to COVID and such, and especially with the CS 100 and 300. Maybe the Canadian government was like, all right, you're going to need to get rid of some of your stuff. So they're like, you need to get rid of this, and this. So Alaska, the One World livery on the 737-900. And thanks to the sun for coming out, helping out my camera a little bit. Just tuning in, Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport is where we're at on location. I'm usually in Salt Lake City, but wanted to go on location to give you a little variety. He certainly did stop in a hurry. I'm going to go back, and when I get a second, to watch that A321 on why, if there's anything I could spot, that he he literally went down like 70% of the runway before he came to a full and complete stop. I don't know if he had, maybe he couldn't use spoilers, or he had like a spoiler fail on arrival, so he couldn't use spoilers or something. So he needed full length runway, which does happen once in a while. There are technical issues. So maybe that's what I'll do too, is start telling stories about the aviation that no one knows, where the names remain protected. Yeah, exactly. Possibly a CDL penalty. Maybe they have the thrust reversers in up. That definitely could be an option, but I think they were using the thrust reversers on that one. So that's a good question. But that he definitely went a long, long way. And it probably didn't help either that the runway was wet too, if he had any penalty. So for people who are new and tuning in, we talk a lot in aviation lingo. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, to say hi, ask questions. Love it. CDL stands for Configuration Deviation List. So what it's corresponding to, and this is something that pilots, that the mechanics, and also the dispatcher look at when they're putting together the flight plan, when they're and basically what it is a configured deviation list item is an item that's typically on the exterior of the airplane that you can be without and still fly the plane. However, a lot of times there can be, as Eskier said, a penalty. And what we mean by a penalty is perhaps your speed for landing needs to be higher, or you can't use thrust reversers, or your speed is limited. So it could be a number of factors. But that's what a CDL is. It's called a configuration deviation list. Now that was silky smooth. That was one silky smooth landing right there. 9.5 from the German judge. The other cool thing about this that I was thinking about is, by broadcasting live, truthfully, if you have a dispatcher who's got a flight going there, not that this, they can't use it as controlling information, but it's nice to have a reference point of what the live weather's like. I thought that was pretty cool. And then also, if your kids, for example, if your dad or mom, sister, brother, or something is flying on certain days, you can watch them land live and check them out and critique them. So I think that's pretty cool too. So technology in doing this is a lot of fun, but it can also help with a lot of things too. Granted, I'm babbling a little bit, but there's good value for it. So as gear, I'm hopeful that they will do. They will send the cargoes on this side because they are arriving from the north and east. However, the cargo ramp for the airport is on the south side. So it could be 50-50 on whether we're going to get those arrivals. So we'll see what happens for the MD-11s, but we'll cross our fingers for you. So it's an inbound 767 from UPS. Yeah, I know, but you can just never be too sure. So I didn't want to be like, oh, they're not coming. But yeah, typically when they're coming from the north or the east, when they're on that arrival, they will route them to runway 26. But sometimes they don't. Looking live at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. Here's the American hangar. American, of course, has a maintenance base here. Southwest has a maintenance base here. I think Frontier will have one here. They already have a crew base. Just tuning in, make sure to like and subscribe, share with your friends, family members, enemies. Hey, we all inherit the same Earth. Can we all just get along? The visibility is so good that if you look closely, you can kind of see how ATC is lining them up here on the north side. So that's Alaska 744 from Seattle, first in line, and then behind him is Southwest 1518, a 737 800. The sun's really starting to come out. This is the 2 for Tuesday, the twin spin, where I broadcast twice in one day. And we'll probably make that our motto for Tuesdays, a twin spin, a 2 for Tuesday, just to get a little more visibility out there. But I know there are some people who like watching from overseas. So right now, it's probably midnight or close to. So if we can broadcast a little bit earlier, we'll catch them, and then we'll catch the people in Hawaii or just waking up in Japan or who are on shift dispatching or just chilling. It was 800 headed in from St. Louis. Well, that WestJet flight right there has been sitting on the ground for the last 30 minutes waiting for this guy, I think, to get out of his gate. So hopefully that will resolve the issue. Probably gave him the middle finger or something. All right, Asgear, we have 24% on the battery, which is actually pretty good. So we may not need the charger, but I'll see if we'll see if we can get it to work. We'll do my best. Yeah, so this guy's finally getting into his gate. He's like, I've been waiting for a half hour. All right, man. We will see what happens. We will see what happens. You should make a call to control to Albuquerque Center. Be like, could you please route this to runway 26? Pip with you on the Twin Spin Tuesday, broadcasting twice from Phoenix. So if you missed our first one from 1 to 3, I think you'll enjoy it. And it is up on the live section of my channel. So it was a perfect broadcast. No problems, no issues. Really enjoyable. This is Frontier A320 comes in. What? A 727? Really? That's pretty cool. So, speaking of rare aircraft, one place you might spot a rare aircraft is in Greensboro, North Carolina. Fun fact. So, there's a charity organization called Samaritan's Purse, and they store one of their DC 8s in Greensboro, which is really cool. It very, 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 very cool. Very cool. Nice, man. They got all those older aircraft. I'm still waiting when they're going to find a replacement for the KC 135. That plane is over 50 years old and they still fly them. We are looking to the east as the planes inbound to Phoenix are coming in on this side, the north side, here at Phoenix Sky Harbor. And so you'll see them coming in from the east. And that's what we're looking at. Ooh, the old 1900. Saw a lot of those in Vancouver, actually. Pacific Coastal is the name of the airline, and they fly the Beechcraft 1900 to the smaller cities in Vancouver, which, of course, I have a video up of that plane spotting. Now, this is an aircraft you may not see often at Spokane, but an A321 from Phoenix to Spokane must be a full load. Usually I would fly like the 319. So this is pretty cool. You don't often see this aircraft in Spokane, Washington. Ooh. Well, thank you, Tools. I do try and stay hip with the interwebs for sure. I always love good aviation. Honestly, that's what got me into plane spotting in the first place was who was it? Jay's Plane Spotting from Chicago, and he had all these videos of plane spotting in O'Hare, and I was like, oh man, this is so cool. I want to do this. And so I was hooked then, but his videos were what started me. So, and he's worked the ramp there as a ramp controller for a long time in Chicago at O'Hare, and so it was really helpful. What CRJ 100? Are you sure? It looks like. Don't get my hopes up, man. See, this gear they're sending FedEx 3711 on the south side, man. So I don't know about the MD. It it'll be last second. So you cross your fingers, man. Things quiet here on the American side. Everybody's left. And now we're just waiting for a new stack of arrivals. I know, man. I told you the cargo is on the south side. Sorry, I don't want to sound like I'm a party pooper. I was just like, typically. However, they could still send them on the north side. It's just that the cargo ramp is all on the south side. So, and Spirit is all on the south side. So that's why you haven't seen Spirit planes really. So, yeah. However, we still got time. Speaking of which, I'm going to put down my mic real quick, my headset. I'm going to grab the charger, see if we can turn on the battery for a little bit and charge my laptop so we can stay a little bit longer. Maybe we'll do another feature called like overtime 1 day a week where I stay more than 2 hours. So stand by. I will be right back. Oh, Singularity. Hey, how's it going, man? Welcome to the show. Thanks, Tools, for taking over, watching me. Yeah, I know it was a static shot there of just an A321, but all right. Good news. I was able to set up the charger, so my battery on my truck is running while I'm charging my laptop. Hopefully, my truck will start. But Singularity, welcome in. Good to have you. Welcome to the channel. You are always welcome, and we're doing a little extra time today. Let's call it. We'll see. We'll see if we can hold out for another hour, and we'll see. But hopefully, for S Gear, we we'll get you those MD-11s on this side. We'll cross our fingers. I've always been tempted, when I've been plane spotting to uh, call ATC, maybe say, is there any way that you could route him on this side? But I probably don't want to get on their bad side. So I don't have a first person relationship with any specific controller yet. So that's something I'm working on. But we just hit the 6 o'clock hour. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Pip's Plane Spotting live from Phoenix, PHX. Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. Glad you could join us. It's our Twin Spin Tuesday, broadcasted earlier today from 11 to 1. And that live broadcast is already on the channel. But here we are again, broadcasting a little extra time. I must confess, I'm holding out for the British Airways A350 because I can never catch it. I've been to Phoenix 3 times, all in the evening. Just did like a day flight, and every time before the last flight is gone, it's always delayed. And once again today, it's delayed. So my heart is broken. So that's why we're hanging around a little bit longer. But also, as Gear is wanting some MD-11 action, so we're hopeful of that. But do me a favor, if you're just tuning in, if you like what you see, give me a like. If you want to be friends, give me a like. If you want to subscribe, that way you know when we'll be broadcasting again, which will either be today or excuse me, tomorrow or Thursday at a new airport. I won't tell you where because it'll be a surprise, but you definitely want to like and subscribe. So thanks for the likes. Inbound in the next 5 minutes, 22:49 from United. Thanks, Singularity. I did see that. I really appreciate it, my friend. This is how we get the word out the channel, and I like what we have here. Good conversation, good aviation conversation. Also, that hey, I'm going to new airports. It's a fun thing. Plus, we're educating. We're having fun. We're educating about aviation. We're here to answer questions. I don't know of any flight dispatchers who are doing live broadcasting. And for that matter, uh, with the exception of maybe a few, not a lot of the streamers are aviation. I don't want to say professionals, but that's kind of the cool thing is we get to educate each other and then also have great conversation and share our love for plane spotting. So, oh, that's a great question, Singularity. My favorite plane, either the Boeing Dreamliner, the 787, or the 220. I just think it's super sexy, the 220. I think it serves the right market size. It's a sharp aircraft. It just looks really sharp. I mean, it does everything right. But the Dreamliner for sure is my favorite large body. I mean, when I saw it, I was, I was like, wow, this is the airplane I want. How about you, Singularity? What's your favorite airplane? That's a great question. What's y'all's favorite personal favorite airplane? Yeah. Oh, those are great ones. The 777, The Dreamliner and the Queen of the Skies, of course. Can't go wrong with the Queen of the Skies, especially since they don't make any more of them. So yeah, I remember. So when I lived in Dallas, they used to fly the British Airways 747 400 in there, and that was always a special treat because Qantas would fly the A380 in there as well. So you get double heavy action. But now British Airways is still pretty cool because they fly the A380 of theirs into Dallas, but Qantas only does the Dreamliner now, which is kind of sad. You don't see the A380 of Qantas coming around anymore. That's a unique one. That's a great one. Next jet A380. I think that's something that we want to definitely fly before they go out of service. Inbound to the north side, United 2249 Denver on a 737 800. The Dash 8 from Tools. Now that's a classic one. All right, I give you extra points for that one because that's a classic. You know, in Alaska just got flew the last of theirs, and I was very fortunate. I was in Portland a couple weeks ago, and so I caught one of them the week before they retired him. But that is a classic aircraft. Now here's the question: Why? Why the Dash 8 Tools? Fair enough. Good choice. Makes a lot of sense. Yes, Asgear, your Raven in Alaska. Let me look that up. I want to check something else here. Da, 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 da. Well, Singularity, thank you for asking. My day is pretty awesome because you know what? Uh, I've got you guys tuning in, and that's fun having the conversation and sharing aviation. And gotta love it. Next jet, yeah, thanks you for asking that. So I'm broadcasting remotely from Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport is where we're at today. And we'll be at a new airport either tomorrow or Thursday. So if you subscribe to the channel, you'll find out when we'll be broadcasting next. Usually, my home base of operation is Salt Lake City, Utah. So Salt Lake City International Airport. Look at this with his wobbly wings, this UPS 767 from Rockford. So tools, one of the things I was thinking about with the Dash 8 is I love how in Canada they still, with the smaller cities and remote airports, they still fly it a ton. Air Canada Express, WestJet Encore, who was the other one? I was like, what? They fly the Dash 8? There was another airline besides Porter, of course, that flies the Dash 8 in Canada, and I cannot think of it for the life of me as we hit sunset. Silver Wings, yes. Yes, that's right. So Silver in Florida, they do the ATRs, the ATR 7200, 500, and 600. Um, so yeah, Silver Airways, based in Florida, that does a lot of the smaller cities. They do the ATRs actually, the French manufacturer. Um, no, I think it is just Porter, WestJet, Encore, and Air Canada Express with the Dash 8 in Canada. But they still find a huge use for them, especially for the smaller cities like Victoria. Uh, they fly the Dash 8 actually um, from Vancouver. All right, guys, we're holding out here, but sun's starting to set, and that means blurry skies for my camera. So we'll make it a good effort here. Pizza sounds fantastic. All right, that's what I'm getting afterwards. Going to head to the hotel, give me some pizza. Excellent choice. Nice job. Now I'm going to be super fat. Okay, so question on the pizza. Is pineapple a good topping on the pizza? Yes or no? I say yes. But there's a lot of discussion about what is appropriate. Singularity, where are you from? Yes, thank you, Tools. Hawaiian style, excellent choice. Next jet, pineapple with anchovies. Bold move there, Asgear. Nice. Singularity, you having a good day, man? Uh, yeah. Just tuning in. We are doing overtime here, trying to get some fan favorites here on the stream before we sign off for the evening. So we're looking for the MD-11. We're looking for the A350. We will see if we can get them. Okay, so did some research, and the Dash 8 100 Raven does in Alaska, Scare. So we were talking about that earlier. So they do the Dash 8 100s. Awesome. Yes. So Phoenix in March when the weather's warmer. Good choice. As opposed to this guy, it's 55 degrees in Phoenix. The one thing I will say in March, um, I don't know if you're from Phoenix Singularity, but like when I was looking at March, of course, it's spring training time, and there's all the hotel rooms taken up. So just thought I'd mention that. Just a fun fact. But if you live in the Phoenix area or close, then you're good to go, man. Okay. Live in California. Very cool. What part of California? That's like the entire state is like spotting heaven. This is Pip's Plane Spotting Live. If you're joining in anew, squeeze that old like button. And if you like what you see, please subscribe because we're going to be broadcasting more. Okay. Near LAX. What a place to be. I mean, shoot. I mean, to go like to the In and Out, everything is so accessible, and you've got great sight lines of the runways and Imperial Hill too. That's pretty cool, man. I wish I was in. Yeah, I wish I was in LA for sure, or at least I had like an apartment or something there because I would be there all the time. Um, I really personally like Orange County. John Wayne and also Burbank because they have short runways and they're fun and challenging approaches. But Orange County is growing with a variety of different aircraft. Breeze is going to fly there. And there was another airline I saw that was going to start flying there. Oh, you know what? WestJet flies there now from Canada. Yep. Yeah. And Phoenix, yeah, 5 hour drive to LA. And 4 hours to Las Vegas or five. Tell you what, ask here if we get you that MD-11, that makes me happy. Yes, yeah. So Van Nuys is on the list. Tools, I know you're a big believer in that, so that's on the list for sure. If you're joining us, this is overtime. We were scheduled to be off the air at 6 o'clock, but some fan favorites, trying to get them to catch some of their fan favorites before we close out the evening. So Van Nuys is on there. What was the one? Palwaukee Airport in Chicago is a good one too. It's got great sight lines. It's like 5,200-foot runway, so it's only corporate aircraft, but there's a ton of them. And then, thanks for the like, by the way. Yeah, I can't tell either. I'm keeping an eye on it. I think it's going to end up on 2.6. So I'll cross my fingers. Oh, and Teterboro, outside of New York, is a great location. hitting the evening here in Phoenix. And guys, I don't want to act like I cried wolf, but the wind just hasn't kicked in yet. It's been like 10 knots, 10, 15 knots. So I'm wondering if it'll kick in after 8 o'clock. So unfortunately, we'll be off the air, but something interesting on that. So I was not crying wolf. I was going off of the forecast, but the wind just hasn't materialized like we thought it would so far. Yeah, singularity, sure. I'm currently using a the item I splurged on was the camera itself. I used to have a 77D, so if you look at my older videos, you'll see that they're only 1080. But then I upgraded and I spoiled myself, and I went to a Canon R7, which is really good for 4K video. And so this is what I'm filming the stream with. And a lot of the cameras you can do live streaming with a Canon utility like an encoder. So the Canon R7, it's like 1,500 bucks. I I feel like it's totally worth it. And then I'm shooting right now with a 100 to 400, which is an extra zoom lens. It's not the top of the line Canon, so the aperture isn't that great, and the f-stop, so it suffers in low light. But that's what I use right now. And then I also have a handheld cam, the Canon G50, which is also a 4K camera, but it only shoots up to 4K 30, whereas the R7 does 4K 60. I haven't shot 4K 60 yet because the files are just so massive that I'm kind of afraid to use them because it'll take up my iPad in like 3 stops. So, but yeah, the Canon R7, I would highly recommend it. I would, if you have some of the, if you get some of the older lenses, I would do that and get the adapter, which is $100. So it's a great camera for sure. Yeah, yeah, awesome, man. I would highly, highly, and it takes great photos too for what it is. The one thing you need to remember though about the Canon R7 is um, a YOLO. Yeah, for sure. Good call, Tools. Um, the one thing about the R7 is its ISO range isn't that great. So if you're looking for night shots and low light, it's not the best camera to choose. However, in natural light, sunlight, nothing better at its price point. I really feel like that. All right, Eskier, if I get you this aircraft, this will make the entire night worth it, entire day, because I stayed extra for you, my friend. Yeah, it is inbound. I do see it. There it is. I'm going to keep the zoom out because remember what we talked about, lower light. If I zoom in too much, then it starts to blur up. So, but yep, it is inbound to the north side, runway 26. The exact ISO for the R7 is 26.4. It doesn't go up to 52. I know that much. I think it's like 26.4. And that's why it doesn't do so hot in low light situations. FedEx MD11 in the house. You must have made a phone call to ATC. Nice, nice with the sun setting and the light starting to come on. That's pretty cool. All right, Asgear, see if we can go 2 for 2 with the UPS MD-11. See if we're feeling lucky today. Now, Sea Tools, I did not know that. So it was the first plane that had autopilot and had auto land on it. Just joining us, it is Pip's Planespotting Live as sun setting here in Phoenix. Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, one of the busiest airports. I think it's in the top 10 in the United States for airports. So hope you're enjoying the view. We'll pan around here real quick to see Phoenix, downtown Phoenix, which is just a 5-10 minute drive. Very convenient here if you're flying in. There's downtown Phoenix, where you can find the Arizona Diamondbacks and also the Phoenix Suns. Yep, it's a full day for me. I will definitely check it out. The one I see a lot, Singularity, as far as cameras go, the Sony RX10. I see a lot of people filming with that, like a lot of the YouTubers. I think is the RX10 AX10. Like it's a good budget camera. I'll tell you that straight up, the Canon G50 isn't the best 4K for the price out there, but it was $900, under $1,000 when I bought it, and so I was like, sweet, it's a good starting point. Yeah, Eskier, I feel like it's been a good day, my friend. Definitely been a good day. A corporate jet looks like a Phenom or a Learjet. Yeah, so I just use Google Fi right now, Singularity. And I bought an encoder and some software, and so it's been okay. It hasn't the Google Fi for the most part's been all right. The main limitation, honestly, is because I used to have Google Fi, so I have a 4G phone, and I'm wondering if I get a 5G phone, I'll have a better stream because you can get the Google Fi plan for uh, $65 plus tax. So that is a pretty good value. I thought about getting a hotspot too, but since I already had the phone, the hotspot was going to be like $200, even though the actual data service is $50. And I was like, I saved a little money here, and so far, there's been a few hiccups, but overall, I've been pretty happy. But if you find the right unlimited plan and you get a hotspot, I think you should be in heaven set if you want to do a live stream. I did find out. Okay, so the one thing, this is only my fifth time doing a live version of this. I have tons of plane spotting videos, which you can check out on my channel. Close to 50 airports, by the way. Um, and thanks for the likes and tuning in, everybody. If you're just tuning in, this is Pip's Plane Spotting Live, and we're in Phoenix today on location. My home airport is Salt Lake City, so I'm traveling for you to get you variety and fun. The one thing I did learn in my fifth time is I when I was having this frustration where I could only get 720p playback, and I could not figure out why. I contacted Canon, I contacted YouTube, everybody under the sun, and it just came to me in an impression like you need to use Google Chrome. So the minute I use Google Chrome, I'm now able to do a 1080 stream. So just a fun fact for you that if you want better stream, you may want to use Google Chrome. So this is the first time we've used Google Chrome, by the way, and it's worked out pretty good. So Eskier, I think my truck is dying. No, I'm just kidding. The light's still on. We'll find out tomorrow, though. Like it just sits there and it's like, so. All right, man. We're 2 for 2. Here's UPS MD-11 inbound from Louisville. Just make sure to sing my praises. It is an awesome aircraft. No question. It's a beaut. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad I could help out and make the day a little bit better for you. It's the small things that make a difference in life. And see, this is part of the fun is we get to have the conversation and talk to each other. And we're all just people who like aviation, plane spotting, and everything that comes with it. It's just like cool stuff like that we get to do. So it's all good in my book. Love it. And that's if you don't ask, you won't know. So I'm here to answer questions about aviation and stuff like that, and I'm always happy to answer them. So I'm going to take one last look, ladies and gentlemen, and see where my British Airways A350 is. And if she's too far out, I may call it a night here as we're in extra time, overtime. We usually do about 2-hour broadcasts if you're new to the broadcast. So we're about 2:30, 2 hours and 30 minutes in. We started around 4 o'clock. And, but, yes, so next live stream, that's an excellent question. Singularity. I'm not sure quite yet if it'll be tomorrow because I'll be on the road. I'm going to keep which airport I'm going to as a surprise. If it's going to be tomorrow or Thursday, but it will happen on one of those days. So if you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe because what I'll do is I'll put out a video the night before saying, hey, here's where I'm going to be at. This is the time. And then a couple hours before that, I will, before the live broadcast, I'll put out another video out to my subscribers saying, hey, just a reminder to join me at this time, yada, yada, yada. So I will let you know. So I encourage you to subscribe, but it'll either be tomorrow or Thursday. I won't put a video out tonight, so I'll make sure to do it early in the morning tomorrow if I do decide to stream tomorrow. But it's still up in the air, so I will let you know one way or the other. Yeah, tools. I think so too, man. And as we grow the channel, I want to do some things that will help educate better. Um, and I just need a really solid connection, a little bit more funding. If you want to donate, you can donate PayPal right now. I haven't monetized yet. I need a little bit more viewer hours, which is why I'm doing the live stream more. But I want to do a lot of fun stuff that will entertain and inform, but have a lot of fun with it. So Singularity will, if I do tomorrow, which is Wednesday, at the new airport, I will put out a video tomorrow morning for my subscribers. If not, then I will do a video tomorrow evening for my Thursday broadcast. So that sounds good. Cool. Yeah, and as Garrett, that was one of the things when I started dispatching is the fact that a lot of people don't know about the career and the position, but it's incredibly essential. And the FAA mandates flight dispatchers be on the release. There are two people who signed the release: the PIC, right, in compliance, and then also the first officer fit to fly, but also the dispatcher that they're in concurrence with the release. So, yeah, it's a pretty interesting career. All right. Well, let me look. I know you said 20 minutes away. Let me look. I'm really hungry. And I did get up at 4 this morning. So, all right. We'll stick around for it. We'll stick around for the British Airways. Jolly good show. And if you are just tuning in and a new viewer, we'd love a like. I would love a like from you if you like what you see. We've hit nightfall in Phoenix, but we're waiting around for the British Airways A350 because I've never been able to get it every time I come down to Phoenix. So we're going to wait for a little bit longer. So that's why we're here at the night. Thank you, Singularity. Really appreciate it. We'll let you know. So right now we're on the north side of Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. The south side, all right, so you see a lot of American planes here. So American really runs basically the majority of the north side. There is the FAR terminal. If maybe you can see that last one, that is where United goes to. Alaska, I think some Delta flights go there as well, but American, for the most part, owns the north side, where as the south side of Phoenix is owned by Southwest, but then you also have the other carriers like Contour, and then Contour, Hawaiian, Spirit, Breeze, and carriers like that. See, the thing is, I've got to keep the camera close to the light, otherwise it'll just wig out. So I don't know if we'll get a good view of 350, but we'll cross our fingers. So, but I just want to see it, if nothing else, and maybe the color scheme with it being white. Before COVID, the British Airways also used to fly the 400, the 747 in here as well. But COVID threw everything, of course, as it did for all of us. So, and you're starting to get some wind pick up in the background. So maybe we might finally get that wind I was wondering about. We'll see what happens. Last 10, 15 minutes, it's been in my back pretty consistently from the southwest. So you can hear it in the background. You caught us earlier. This you expected us to be off the air at 6 p.m. Well, we're doing overtime. A little bit longer to catch a few fan favorites. And I personally wanted to finally catch the A350 from British Airways that I've never been able to catch before in Phoenix. So, what? They fly the 350 from Minneapolis to Phoenix? Are you sure? That's wild, man. Domestically, a lot of the airlines do on the hub to hub or popular routes, they will run the twin aisle. No way, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is unreal if that's the case. See, now I got to take a second look at this because I'm going crazy. Singularity, I don't know if you can see, but you see now it's dark. The camera is always, it's like wigging out because, the ISO is not the best. All right. Yeah, that's the one downfall. So just keep that in mind. Oh, look at that. Now we got the rain coming down. Look at that. Wow. Got a brief shower here. And if you look above, if you look 5 minutes, if you look towards downtown, there's rain. If you look towards the northwest, there's blue skies. But here at the airport, you can see it. There's rain. Yeah, it is totally hard. Yeah, it is very annoying. However, when the we hit the maybe when I hit the 100,000 channel 100,000 subscriber mark, I'll be able to get a camera that has better low light capability. But for now, I'm certainly happy with what I got. And the other thing too, I also use a tripod, and I have my MacBook Pro that I run the streaming. So definitely recommend a good computer to do this because normally this battery life should be all day Singularity, but when I take it out streaming and just do it based on the battery's dead in 2 hours if I don't charge it or if I don't plug it in anywhere. So, all right, British Airways 289. If you guys are waiting around, it is 10 minutes, and hopefully it'll ATC will route them here to the north side and runway 26. And that B concourse, it's empty. It's waiting for arrivals. It's like, where are you guys at? This has been a lot of fun today, though. And I promise you it'll get even better either tomorrow or the next day of where I'm headed next. I know where I'm headed. I just don't know if I'll have time tomorrow or not. Because I kind of want to do it tomorrow because I'm so geeked up about doing this stuff. So just keep that in mind. But I know where I'm going. I'm just keeping it a surprise. Yep, you're exactly right. You are 100%. I first thought it was because of I was in the cold all the time because Salt Lake's like in the mid 30s, but it's not. It's just due to the fact that, like you said, the intensive tasks suck the battery life out. So we talk about safety real quick. I wanted to point out real quick. Look at the wing walkers. They have the glow in the dark. Not only uniforms, but they also have. I'll just call them the lightsabers. It's really important for visibility, especially like it is raining here, and so if it's raining or snowing, it's harder to see things. So whatever can be done to protect both the workers but the airplanes as well. And those outfits are not optional. If it's dark or night, they need to wear those, and they need to also use the lightsabers. So I just thought I'd point that out while I had a quick second. Thanks for the like. Welcome, welcome. We're doing overtime here. Some of my good people and friends are sticking around to see if British Airways will finally make an appearance that I've been waiting for. And it's at 8,000 feet right now. And just waiting for it to catch. So about an hour of overtime is where we're at. So yeah, typically, and I say so a lot. I'm sorry for that verbal crutch. Typically, we'll do about 2 hours broadcast. So this is overtime in the two for Tuesday. So today we've done 5 hours of broadcasting, which is a lot, but it's been pretty awesome too. So two for Tuesdays, the twin spin is what we'll do next week. We'll broadcast 2 hours in the midday morning and 2 hours in the afternoon evening, if possible. So it'll be a lot of fun. And thanks for everybody for tuning in. Get to meet new people as well. That's part of the real fun there. Because then you're making connections too. It's like WestJet is headed back north, blocked out of the gate. All right. Appreciate it, Tools. You're the man. I appreciate your help, dude. Really appreciate it. That means a lot. I just try and do a good job and entertain and inform and, you know, help you learn something or do something and make a difference and share our love of aviation. Like, for example, those winglets. What do the winglets do? That's the stuff you'll learn about. Oh, look, the ailerons are down. Okay, what's an aileron? What does it do? What's the function of it? You know, when you're a pilot and dispatcher or whoever in the aviation world, you're going to learn this stuff. And what better way to do it like on a live stream where you're enjoying plane spotting, but you can also get information and be informed on it as well. You're welcome, Next Jet. Thank you for tuning in. Pleased to have you, man. And I'll be looking out for that video. I think if you're going to Phoenix in March, I'll be looking out for that video. That I'm looking forward to that, where it's warmer, and you'll start to get some seasonal rivals. I think Condor from Germany, the leisure carrier, starts flying to Phoenix in March. And I don't know if they're going to be doing it on their A330 or if they're going to do it on one of their old 767s. But they do a seasonal service each year, and I think that they're going to start doing late this month or March. So when you're there, maybe you'll be able to catch Condor, which will be cool. All right, so it looks like the A350 from British Airways is headed where we want it to on runway 26 here on the north side of the airport in Phoenix Sky Harbor. Just making that right turn and just east Mesa. Yep, you're exactly right. Tools, the Wi-Fi that is available, you got it. Yeah, and so we'll see the humps now. And I think we'll probably, there's going to be a point where they're going to have, I think every airline will have free in flight Wi-Fi. Because I remember airports used to charge a lot of airports for Wi-Fi, but it's all standard now at airports. It's become so commonplace. So it's just a matter of time. So we talk about the A350. We talk about the Dreamliner. What does it? What makes it different? Well, for one, the airplane. Both airplanes are composite aircraft, so it's not just a regular metal or aluminum. It's a composite, so it's lighter. It's more efficient, lighter. The other interesting thing about it, when you fly a composite aircraft, you know, it's different. If I was watching a documentary with the composite aircraft, because of that, if lightning were to strike the airplane, it would shatter. So the the aircraft has a special system, a wiring inside the fuselage that protects it versus lightning strikes. If you're gonna ask about Boeing versus Airbus, man, we could go all day singularity. I like both for different reasons. I said this on the broadcast earlier that if you're a flight simulator fan and you play flight simulator, for example, you love flying the Airbus, the side stick, instead of it's easier for me as opposed to using a yoke, because most pilots will use the yoke with one hand, of course, Airbus side stick, but the side stick feels more natural to me. My personal favorite plane, number one, the Dreamliner. Number two, Airbus A220. So that's close by. It's close. Now, the real question is, are you a European fan or do you love America? Because if you love America, if it ain't Boeing, I ain't going. That's what some people say. I mean, the 737's fine. It's a workhorse. It's an awesome plane. It's a workhorse, but Airbus has made a lot of ground recently in the last few years. So it's really tough. And then there's Embraer, which is like the regional jet manufacturer. And then China's got the C919 that is supposed to somehow compete. I mean, China is the biggest, I guess, market in the world because it has the most people in the world. But I don't know how the Comac C919 is going to compete with the Boeing and Airbus, right? See, now the Air Canada, the new livery that's got the black and kind of the raccoon skin around the flight deck windows, that's super cool in the new livery. For sure. All right, so folks, finally, after much waiting, trials and tribulations, here she is, the A350. Now, if it only maintained focus. It does glide well. There's no question about that. And there's the Union Jack livery on the back of the tail there. It glides extremely smooth. And the camera held up all right, and I'm cool with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well done today. Well done. A lot of good action. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you for the new fans and friends I've made. Oh, the most comfortable jump seat. All right, James, I'll answer this before we get out of here. Oh, it's definitely not the CRJ 200. The most comfortable jump seat, honestly, that I've personally sat in is the Boeing 757. They give two seats, and the second seat, you sit above the captain, so you're elevated, so you can kind of look over his shoulder. You sit behind him, but you sit over him, and it also had armrests. So, great question, James. We'll talk about that again, but I would say for me personally, the Boeing 757 for sure. Yep, that's awesome. All right. Well, it's been like you said, Askir. It's been what a day. Been an awesome day. Singularity Next Jet James. Good to see you. Tools, you're the man. You are my homie. As Gear, you're one of my favorites. But we're in overtime action, more than 2 hours, and I'm tired and hungry, and I'm sure everybody else is. So for now, again, subscribe, and we'll put together a video. So if we broadcast tomorrow, I'll have a video out in the morning saying what time it'll be at. Otherwise, I will broadcast video tomorrow evening for Thursday's broadcast, so you guys know what's going on. Either way, but for now, I'm getting to the hotel, gonna get me some dinner and head to bed. So all of you, stay healthy, stay strong. Thanks. Take care, everyone. Next Jet, Skier, Tools, Billy Bull, James, Singularity. Thank you, everybody. Cindy. All right. For now, everyone else, have a good night. Stay healthy, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.